Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. I hope you're doing well, and it's time for our weekly track roundup where I give my thoughts on a bunch of songs that have come out, whether I loved them or hated them or felt somewhere in between. I think this is going to be our last weekly track roundup for a minute, final one of the year. We will reconvene in January when things music industry-wise start to pick up once again, but between now and then you have List Week to look forward to. You have classic reviews to look forward to. So hang tight, and it will all roll out with time. All right, cool. So with that being said, all the tracks that I talk about in this video linked down below so you can check them out for yourself, along with our Turntable Lab link. You can use it to get some vinyl, get some turntable stuff. We get kickback from it. And yeah, holiday season shopping for yourself, for others, would benefit us in the process. That would be great. Would appreciate it. Thank you. Would also appreciate a visit over to our Patreon page where you can get some extra bonus monthly content while supporting us in the process. Access to our Discord community too. That's all you got to know. YouTube Shorts page, subscribe today. Worst tracks of the week. Let's get into it. Starting off with this new one from Pharrell with Swae in the mix. And yeah, it's titled Airplane Tickets. Pharrell doing his damnedest to pull together a reggaeton groove on this one with some vaguely tropical instrumentals. Way too much auto-tune on Swae's voice. And yeah, it's a mess. Mix is pretty mid as well. Alejandro is the only shining ray of light on this track. Unfortunately, it's yeah, pretty underwhelming. All right, we have a new one from Guns N' Roses, which I wish was just underwhelming. It's actually goddamn awful. Between Axl Rose's caterwauling and Slash's guitar sounding quite sloppy and dissonant throughout the entire track, it's a nightmare. Also, this new one from French Montana and Lil Baby is pretty mid and underwhelming as well. I feel like Lil Baby is regressing, backsliding a little bit in a way into flows that are terribly defined, syllables that are just kind of bleeding into each other, and the autotune is just so warbly and kind of overtaking all the definition of his voice. French Montana, of course, is pretty average, if I'm putting it nicely, and the instrumental is overpowering the both of them anyway, so it's just kind of a generic trap slop. All right, we have a new one over here from the upcoming Lyrical Lemonade album. We got Dave. We got Jack Harlow. Dave's verse is quite chaotic and confusing. I still, to this day, do not really see what a lot of people hear in Dave. It feels like there's a lot of fans arguing that there's like something deeply profound about what he says. Meanwhile, like a lot of his messaging on the verse on this track is a total mess. Instrumentally, and of course with the Jack Harlow appearance on the song, and you know, chorus, it just kind of sounds like a Jack Harlow throwaway for the most part. It's a Jack Harlow throwaway. Yeah. All right, and we have a new one over here from J Balvin, Amigos. This one is a snoozer. This is as bland as they come. As far as reggaeton tracks, as bland and as sleepy and as forgettable as they come, and I will leave it there. All right, let's move on to the tracks that I thought were not crazy about, but still worth shouting out. They are as follows. We have a new one from Southside and Lil Yachty. I wish it was longer. Instrumental is pretty underwhelming and forgettable, but Yachty does bring a kind of chaotic vocal performance on top of it between the effects and the flow switch-ups and some of the kind of monstrous ad-libs. A good performance, just not a strong tune or beat to it, honestly. All right, we have a new one from Tems over here, pretty one-dimensional song-wise, but I will say the vocal performance is very beautiful and quite great on the track. Not an Angel is the name of the cut. Moving on from there, we have a new one, a single, a couple of new tracks from Lil Ugly Mane, and the one over here, Orange Over, still kind of continues to hang in this lo-fi, dark indie folk direction that a lot of his latest material has been dealing in. I just still to this day don't really think it's his strong suit, though I do like some of the textures. I do like kind of how moody it is generally, but just not really crazy about the vocals and the tunes, which I think continue to be kind of underwhelming and just leaving a lot to be desired. We have a new one from The Killers that kind of feels like they're kind of going back to the maybe Hot Fuss era a little bit. but without any of kind of the thrills or excitement of that era. I'll say that with this new track, this new single over here, which is titled Rebel Diamonds. We've got a new one also from Kenny Mason, a new single that has a few tracks on it, 3 to be exact. This one, Facts, is kind of a very basic vocal delivery, some moody guitars, a straightforward trap beat, nothing too special or crazy or over the top. It's a pretty mild single for Kenny. We have a new one from Idols as well, titled Grace, and feeling like this one's kind of a snoozer from the band, unfortunately, which, I really liked the LCD sound system crossover. The LCD, collab track was great, but this one is just sounding kind of uncharacteristic for Idols, even with it maybe being in line with a lot of the lighter and more nuanced tracks from their last record. And not that I expect every Idols song to be firing on all cylinders or be screaming in my face, but it feels like things are toned down to the point where they've lost personality, flavor, and my interest. I'll leave it there. All right. Rat Wars' new album from Health. It is out, and it is out now. Whoopsie Daisy. And the track that I want to point to is a DSM-V. It's got these kind of haunting, dejected vocals, but also heavy pounding industrial guitars and rhythms on top of that. Maybe a more amped vocal performance would have been fitting, but it is Health. I do kind of know what I'm getting from Health vocally after so many albums, but hey, that industrial production is pretty sick. I'll say that. New one from Green Day, third taste of their forthcoming LP, Dilemma, and it's not a bad single. Maybe the best single of the bunch so far, and maybe that's because a song that sounds like, it's meant to be played at prom, a pop punk rock prom is the best that we could hope for. There's a new track from Playboi Carti as well. We did a review for it over on the Fantano channel. Bit of a low-key track for him with some super whispery lead vocals, not the super hyper-aggressive, explosive rage stuff he's typically known for. Maybe this means we're in for a more cerebral, kind of hushed, eerie album when he does eventually drop his new record in January. We are going to see. Personally, I think the track is a little one-dimensional, but it's okay and a somewhat interesting switch up. Moving on from there, we have a new one as well over here from Conway the Machine, 1, 2, and also KNDRX. Mind Tricks is the title of it. It's eerie, it's dark, it's kind of got that grimy boom bap feel like we expect from a Conway song, but it's not a finished song and just kind of feels like he's painting by numbers on this one, honestly. Best tracks of the week, they are as follows. Let's get into it. We have a new one over here from Channel Trace, really good quality hip house on this one. It's got grooves, it's got vocals, and some great keys as well. I'm liking it. Walked in the Room is the title. Also digging on this new one from Sexyy Red and Tokischa. If I'm allowed to enjoy this, I don't know if I'm allowed to enjoy anything that has to do with Sexyy Red, considering the way the internet melted down this past week. But this song, Daddy as well, I think is incredible. Sexy's performance on the track is fun and charismatic. We got a great driving, danceable beat on the track too. It's got some wild kind of house vibes to it. I'm liking it a lot. I think it has an infectious and fun energy. Though, again, I don't know if I'm allowed to enjoy it. All right, we have a new one over here from Snooper. Legendary egg punk band Snooper are coming through with a new cut titled Company Car, and it is chaotic, it is effect heavy, it is synthy, it is zany. I'm loving it. Snooper continues to kill it and be one of the most erratic bands out there. Loving their vibe. Rina Sawayama has come through with like a deluxe edition of Hold the Girl, onto which she has added this new version of Imagining with Amaarae, which is cool. I think Amaarae adds quite a bit to the album track. I think her contribution is great and kind of adds to the vibrance of the song overall. So I think it's a cool little neat inclusion. Would love to, for you guys to check this out as well. And Joanna Sternberg has a cute new little acoustic ballad out titled Without You, which will certainly warm your heart. Check this one out too. It is sweet. It is endearing. It is Joanna Sternberg. We have a new one from Fred again, who has come through with a new track featuring Baby Keem. really like the crossover I never expected, but Leave Me Alone is the name of the cut, and it actually freaking rules. I don't really know I don't really know what to say other than that. Like the beat is vibrant and hype and really propulsive, and Baby Keem's vocals, the way they're kind of chopped up and laced into the instrumental, works really well. You know, he's got a bold, standout voice, so you know he kind of is kind of meant for a dance track, I would say, to a degree, not just merely a rap song. All right, we have a track I would like to shout out. Of course, any fan of Car Seat Headrest knows the song Drunk Drivers, Killer Whales. But right now we have a new live album from Car Seat Headrest. This version of the track is live at Brooklyn Steel, and Faces from the Masquerade. The album is out now and streamable for all of you guys to check out when you want to do that. All right, we have a new one from Benny the Butcher. New album on the way, another taste of it, and this one is freaking awesome. Stove God Cooks is in the mix as well on this one. 1 Foot In. I think it's one of his best choruses ever, honestly. And, the whole talk of like having 1 foot in the rap game, 1 foot in the coke game, so on and so forth. It's an interesting song. It's an interesting song for sure. Descriptive lyrics, charismatic delivery, and again, one of his best choruses, period. All right, and we have one from Adrianne Lenker, which I believe is the last track I wanted to talk about in this video. It is a heart-wrenching ballad. Make sure that you have tissues on hand to cry into when you put this one on. It probably will, but it may absolutely, positively destroy you. And I'm looking forward to whatever Adrianne has coming down the pipe. For sure, for sure. All right, that has been the weekly track roundup, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. You're the best. Love you. Over here next to my head is another video you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, weekly tracks forever.